Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Psychosin project here on YouTube today. And we'll be doing an edition of Psychosins Psychoanalysis, which is my review series for either past releases or releases that have been out for about a month now. I know I'm a bit slow with getting the review of this album out. I am, of course, today reviewing Agnostic Front's current new album, The American Dream Died. Well, I say new album, it's been out for about a month and a half now, but I've got a bit of a backlog of albums along with new albums coming as well, so I'm trying my best to try and keep up while also trying to find myself a job, etc. Anyway, here we go. This is Agnostic Front with The American Dream Died. Let's get into this, but for those of you who don't know who Agnostic Front are, as always, let me tell ya. Agnostic Front are legends in the hardcore scene with the mixture of Roger Miret's powerful vocals and lyrics and their all-killer, no-filler approach to riffs and songwriting. They've helped grow and push the hardcore scene forward while also staying true to themselves and their sound. The band currently consists of Mike Gallo on bass, Craig Silverman on guitar, Pokey on drums, Vinny Stigma on guitar, and of course the legend that is Roger Miret on vocals. The first track on the album is called Intro. Now this starts with a fade-in with then some sirens and spoken word over the top. Then you hear the guitars and drums in the background increasing the intensity, and then the spoken word and sirens stop and the band starts playing a great slow-paced riff. The spoken word comes back in to end the song. The next song is The American Dream Died. Now this starts with a nice bass line being played, then the thrashy guitars and drums kick in with Roger Miret's unique vocals over the top, one that really get pits moving when played live. Halfway through we get a high speed solo, then back to the vocals and pounding drums and riff. The song ends suddenly. The next song is Police Violence. Now this starts at an almost grindcore speed with the intense guitars, drumming, vocals and the requisite punky gang vocals all present. We then slow down to a mid-pace at 30 seconds into a nice groove with the vocals over the top. Then another 5 seconds of insanely fast guitar takes us through to a sudden ending. Up next is Only in America. Now this starts with the start of the song being shouted by gang vocals, then into another high-speed paced riff. Sorry, with the vocals over the top. Possibly a live favourite because it just begs to be shouted along to. A drum roll then goes into a single guitar playing a mid-paced riff, then the whole band comes in and we're into an anthemic ending section. Some more gang vocals chant the title of the song, then we fade to end. Song number 5 is Test of Time. Now this starts with a crash with the entire band, then a mid-paced riff, then double kick drums as we go into a fast-paced guitar solo. Then the vocals join in over the top. Gang vocals help to flesh out the chorus and give the fans another hardcore anthem that would sound superb live. We then go back to the mid-paced riff and double kick drums. We then slow right down then into a nice slow-paced groove riff while the vocal repeats the name of the song over and over until another sudden ending. Track number 6 is We Walk the Line. Now this starts with crashing drums, then into another mid-paced riff. The vocals then come in over some superbly chuggy styled guitars. Another shouted chorus on this song makes it anthemic. Then we're into a change of riff but keep the pace slow and memorable. Then we come to a sudden end. Track 7 is Never Walk Alone. Now this starts with a nice 2-note styled intro melody with the drums and other guitars building up the song, then into some gang vocals. The vocals then come in over drums and an excellent bass line. Then the guitar comes in along with some gang vocals, making this a catchy as hell song. 2-note melody comes back, then we're into the chorus with several hardcore guests including the singers of Madball and Sick of It All. We then go into a chuggy riff for the middle 8. The rising main riff is definitely incredibly catchy, and so is the chorus of the song. You can see why this was chosen as the lead-off single from the album. Song wraps up in intensity and speed and then comes to a sudden end. Track 8 is Enough is Enough. Now this starts with a slow drum, then into grindcore speed punky style riffs, then into a mid-paced bass line with the vocals over the top and a nice memorable tune, then back to the punky high speed riffs that leads us to the end. Track number 9 is I Can't Relate. Now this starts with an almost bouncy style riff with the vocals over the top, then to another insanely fast riff which slows down for the gang vocals, then we end with a chorus. Track number 10 is Old New York. Now this starts with spoken word taken from a film. I don't know what film it is. A bass line and mid-paced drumming then come in as the guitars join in with a nice mid-paced chugging riff with Roger's vocals over the top. The gang vocals join Roger for another superbly catchy and anthemic chorus on this song. The song continues this way until after the second chorus, where that riff changes for the middle eight to vary the song up and then back to the chorus again to bring us through to the end. Track number 11 is Social Justice. Now this starts with a guitar fade in, then some mid-paced drumming as the guitars feed back, then start playing a slow, almost doomy riff. We then go into a single guitar playing a mid-paced riff, then the vocals and drums join back in playing the main riff. We go into an insanely fast, short guitar solo at the 1 minute mark, then back to the main riff again. We break down to just drums and bass with the guitars feeding back, then into a slow riff as the title of the song is shouted over the top, and then another sudden ending. Track 12 is Reasonable Doubt. Now this starts at full speed with a great thrashy style riff and drumming, then the vocals come in over the top, sounding as impassioned as ever. We then slow down to a nice mid-paced, almost Biohazard style riff for the chorus. We then speed right back up and the song continues this way until we come to another sudden ending on this album. Track number 13 is No War, Fuck You. Now this starts with a slow intro, then into a higher speed Slayer style riff with the rapid fire vocals over the top, which takes us through to a mid-paced riff break, then back to the fast riffs for the last 5 seconds of the song. Track number 14 is Attack. Now this starts with gang vocals and a nice catchy fast riff as Roger shouts over the top. We break down to just bass and drums at the 30-second mark. Then the guitar comes in with an almost rock and roll style riff. Then back to the main riff 10 seconds later, which leads us through to another sudden ending. The penultimate track on the album is called A Wise Man. Now this starts with the entire band crashing in and going into a slow-paced riff with a slow guitar solo being played in the background, adding atmosphere to the song. We then go into a stop-start riff with the vocals being shouted between riffs. A great chuggy riff takes us into the chorus where Roger is backed up by those gang vocals. We then speed up again for a bit, then back into the slow chuggy riff until we stop, then fade back into the chorus. We then get more backing atmospheric guitar notes being played, then we get yet another sudden ending. The last track on the album is called Just Like Yesterday. Now this starts with a single guitar playing a slow chugging riff. The vocals then come in over the top as the drums build up into another anthemic catchy chorus. The song continues this way until the 45-second mark where the riffs speed up then back to the chorus. The song continues this way until we get a guitar solo come in at the 3-minute mark. Sorry, at the minute 30 mark even. Not 3 minutes. But we go back to the chorus for one more run through until we reach the end of the song and indeed the album. So overall, what did I think of Agnostic Front and The American Dream Died? Well, I'll admit I'm not the biggest fan of hardcore bands. When I listen to hardcore, it's usually Biohazard or Sick of It All, My Ruin, or Will Haven, if you would really accept Will Haven and My Ruin as hardcore bands. This is my first time hearing any songs by Agnostic Front. And honestly, it took me a while to get used to Roger's vocals because I'd never heard them before, but once I did, I can honestly say I actually really enjoyed this album. A lot more than I was expecting, in fact, because I've heard a lot of hardcore and it really didn't do much for me. Like, the stuff I've heard of Madball never really done anything for me, and anything by Hatebreed just honestly gets on my tits, to be totally honest with you. Also, with the stuff that Jamie Juster come out with recently, where he was basically suggesting that all death metal fans were drug addicts or something stupid like that. He can fuck off for that comment. But anyway, the songs on this album are tight with great choruses, memorable riffs and superb playing by the entire band. All in all, I would recommend this album. However, remember, this is the first album of Agnostic Front I've ever heard, so I can't really tell you how it stacks up when compared to previous releases. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. I will be doing more videos and trying to make things a bit more frequent, as it were, because I seem to be taking long gaps of about a week, which I don't mean to be doing, but at the moment we're going through a ridiculously hot period, and unfortunately having a slight issue with my flat where the radiator's not being fixed and I'm basically melting with the heat outside and then the radiator carrying on, so it's making me a little bit ill every now and again. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll be back with another video soon. Feel free to help support the channel by clicking, well, by going to the link, well, this site here underneath me, and seeing what you can pay for the Patreon and becoming my Patreon, and what you'll get for the various sort of cash, donation limits that you can pay. Anything you give honestly would help. It would help me get to do more interviews up in London, along with upgrade my equipment and get a better camera, microphone, etc., as well as mean that I could if I started making enough money from it, along with the videos being on YouTube, means I could start doing more videos as more of a living than having to take long gaps due to trying to find a job at the same time, etc. I'm not saying that I'm being lazy with that. It's just obviously, well, I'm trying to do that. It's also halting my production of videos and doing the reviews. Anyway, I've got a lot more hours to get through, the backlog and any more that might be sent my way. So I'll be back soon with another video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I turn to